Hi everyone, welcome to Learn QA and LR. I'm Surendra Reddy, and today I want to answer a question I got from almost every parent and student I meet. Why should my child focus on quantitative aptitude and logical reasoning? Isn't it just one more subject to study? And the honest answer is no. No, it's not just a subject, it's one core skill that follows a student from their very first entrance test in a school all the way to a job interview at a company like McKinsey or a Google. So in this video, I'll walk you through exactly where the entrance test, higher education and government and private sector jobs so you can see the full picture of yourself. Let's get started. Now a quick context on who I am. I've been teaching quantitative aptitude and logical reasoning for over 13 years and have been mentored thousands of students across IPMAT, Digital SAT, GRE, GMAT, CAT, CLAT, bank exams, SSC exams, UPSC, civil service entrance exams, whatnot, many more. And here is the thing I have noticed. Across every single one of those exams, it's the same core skill I'm teaching. That's really the whole argument of this video. Now the core idea of this video is, why does this one skill matter so much? It's a skill, it's not a syllabus. Here is a mind shift I want every student and parent to make. Most subjects are syllabus bound. You learn biology for NEET, and when that exam is done, that specific syllabus is done too. But aptitude doesn't work like that. Percentages, ratios, data interpretation, these show up in IPMAT, in CAT, in the GRE, in UPSC CSAT, even in McKinsey hiring assessment. It's the same underlying skill tested again and again, just in a different costume. And because every one of these tests is limit timed, the real skill you are building is not just knowing the formula, it's a calm, practiced pattern recognition under pressure. Isn't it? Now, I have divided this into multiple parts. Let's take into the part 2 of this video about entrance tests. So these are some of the exams that you could see on the screen from UG to so many exams. Under UG level, you have IPMAT and JIPMAT, which will be tested on a quantitative aptitude, logical reasoning and verbal ability. It is for a 5 years integrated course for BBA and MBA at Indian Institute of Management. You have CUET, again the same test, quantitative aptitude and logical reasoning. These are for state and central universities. You have CLAT exam, which is for a 5 years integrated course at all national universities. You have NDA, CDS. Again, the syllabus is same. Elementary mathematics, reasoning heavy. This is basically for defense academies. You have AFCAT and state CETs are there. Not just these, you have so many private universities are there like WIT, Manipal, Symbiosis, Nasimanji, whatnot. Many more entrance exams are tested on the same curriculum that is about quantitative aptitude, logical reasoning, and verbal ability. Now, what are the entrance exams that you see in global level for UG? You have a Digital SAT. The content will be about mathematics and one second. Yeah, content will be about mathematics and writing and reading reasoning, which leads to the admissions for US and other global undergraduate programs. You have ACT, UCAT, LNAT, Thinking Skills Assessment exam, which is basically a problem solving and critical thinking, and it doesn't have any specific syllabus. It's for Oxford and Oxford related universities. And then STEP. These are the entrance tests you see on global level. Now, what are the exams that you see for higher education entrance exams? Once a student clear their undergraduate program and they are going for a higher education. Now, these are the exams that you see, some of the familiar exams for MBA at IIMs and top B schools. Students may need to write GAT, CSAT, SNAP, NMAT, Symbiosis. For global level programs in MBA, somebody may write for GMAT focus editions. Then for masters and PhD, people may write UPSC. Sorry, not UPSC, GRE. Then for qualifying for GATE exams, and qualifying for entrance exams like UPSC, CSAT is there, LSAT is there, GATE exam is there. So these are the some of the higher education jobs, guys. Higher education. Here I mentioned this UPSC, CSAT for the sake of telling one important point of this video, that is about the spotlight. This I wanted to understand each one of you thoroughly. So 33%, that's a minimum score that CSAT candidate need to clear. And if they don't qualify, their general studies paper 1 is not even evaluated. What is the test? What is the process for UPSC selections? You need to write prelims, mains, and then you may go for interview. In the prelims, you will have paper 1 and paper 2. Paper 2 is called CSAT, Civil Services Aptitude Test. So in this, out of 80 questions, the pass percentage would be 33%. Pass percentage in the sense they need to get minimum 33% of the total marks in order to be eligible for paper 1 evaluation. I have seen every year minimum 12 to 13 lakh people will appear for this exam. And you know what is the success rate in CSAT? Not even 1%, 1 to 2%. So hardly 14 to 15,000 people are eligible for the mains. So the major hurdle would be a very essential skill that is needed is quantitative aptitude, logical reasoning, reading comprehension skills, and data interpretation. So this is where aptitude comes first. Subject knowledge only matters if you clear that gate, isn't it? Hope you understood what my point of view here is. Now let's talk about part 4 of the video about government sector jobs. So once we are done with this, now what are the entrance exams we have talked about under UG level and PG level we talked about. Now what if someone want to start a job? There are 2 types of jobs. You can get into either government sector job or private sector job. Let's talk about some of the top exams which are related to aptitude in India. You have SSC CGL. Every year lakhs and lakhs of people write across India. Then for banking sector jobs like IBPS, SBA, PO and clerical level. Again, the skills are same. You see quantitative aptitude, general intelligence and reasoning, quantitative aptitude, reasoning ability, data interpretation, RBI, grade B and assistant level, same. RRB, NTPC, same. LIC, AAO, same. UPSC, state PSCs like group 2, group 4, group 3, defense exams, everything would be aptitude centric only. That is the reason why we tell you this is a skill that anybody can learn nowadays. Now, government hiring in a global level. So I do not want to talk much about this. You can refer on your own. For our understanding sake, I have taken up some of the exams which are focusing on aptitude skills again. For example, UK Civil Service Fast Stream, US Federal Hiring, Singapore Public Service Commissions, EU institutions. Many of these are still focused on one essential skill, that is our subject, quantitative aptitude and logical reasoning. Now let's talk about part 5 of the video, that is private sector and the corporate jobs. So for campus placement to the world's top consulting firms, aptitude is a standard first filter. Because I worked in corporate for almost 5 to 6 years of my initial journey, where I used to go to placements training. We call it as campus recruitment training, where we do the workshops for a couple of weeks, how to qualify these entrance tests for quantitative aptitude and logical reasoning. Whether if you name it as TCS, NQT, Infosys, Wipro, Cognizant, Accenture, Capgemini, like global level MNCs like Amazon, Google, Microsoft, all these assessments will have one common core skill, that is again quantitative aptitude, logical reasoning, your verbal ability, your interpretation skills, then only the group discussions, and then your subject knowledge will be tested. So this is the very first hurdle in almost every hiring process before a human reads a resume in detail or contacts an interview. So you need to excel in it. And these are some of the global corporate consulting firms like McKinsey, BCG, Bain & Company, and many more. Now the essential part of this video, why starting from schooling makes a difference. Because it is a skill and not a syllabus. Once if you are familiar with these basic concepts like ratios, percentages, which we generally see in 7th, 8th standard mathematics itself, but people tend to not take it up very seriously in their preparation. Always I wanted to tell you this, guys. Clarity wins over speed. Now we see so many ads coming up, how to solve questions quickly with multiplication techniques, division techniques and all that stuff. That is useful only if you know the subject clarity. That comes through our arithmetic skills. And every major gate uses the same skill. You name it as IPMAT to UPSC, CSAT to McKinsey solving. Everything is a common area, that is again the same process, same problem solving. And early practice removes exam day anxiety. Because when you are familiar with the subject from your schooling level, your way of understanding would be totally different, because you are already comfortable with that wording and terminology, right? And it compounds. Let's say someone started this learning this skill from their schooling. Do you think the guy will be at the same level of thought process? We as a humans will evolve in our thought process, right? So by the time they reach their highest standard education and getting a job level interviews, their knowledge will compound. That's why it's taught early from schooling itself. That makes huge difference. And the bottom line would be, from a class 9 students preparing for a CUET or IPMAT to a postgraduate applicant sitting for a GRE or a government sector job like UPSC CSAT, and to a working professional clearing McKinsey solving assessment, the exact same core skills of quantitative aptitude and logical reasoning show up again. Building that foundation early is not an exam prep. It's a single highest leverage academic investment a student can make for the next 15 years of their life. What we do at LearnQ and LR. We believe that concept-based teaching is more important than creating shortcuts. Clarity always wins over the speed. Speed anybody can get if they get the clarity clearly. And we do a lot of personalized mentoring, and we conduct weekly mock tests. We do performance-based analytics for the students. We conduct doubt clearing sessions. We do exam-specific specialization. When we say that quantitative aptitude, don't think that this is the same across every exam. The knowledge is same, but the flavor is a bit different, right? For example, if you talk about CLAT. In CLAT, the quantitative aptitude will be in Caselets format. They'll give the information in terms of a passage, and we need to extract the information about it and forming the questions. Similarly, IPMAT has a different orientation. SAT has a different orientation. GRE, GMAT has a different orientation, packed under the same, again, quants and reasoning. And the strategy-driven preparation, as we say, even though the subject is same, the way of asking questions is a bit different. If you understand that the strategy-driven preparation which suits to the relevant exam, your process becomes very simple. And coming to the final stage of our PPT, I wanted to thank you all the parents and the students for going through all this video. For any questions, any clarity, you can contact us. We are always available to help to our students. Thank you so much. Have a great time.